Chanel is one of the most iconic names in luxury. But let's be honest, just because it's Chanel doesn't mean that it's worth the splurge. In today's video, you are learning from my mistakes because I'm sharing the Chanel makeup products that I regret buying. The ones that let me down, that didn't live up to the hype, and what I would recommend instead. And I am not the only one sharing my regrets today because this video is in collaboration with my friend, the wonderful Allison Chase. I am so humbled and happy to be collaborating with Allison because I have been following her channel for years. Since before I was a YouTube creator, I was following her channel, learning about luxury beauty, all of the new releases and classic favorites from brands like Chanel. So if you love luxury beauty and you have not subscribed to her channel, seriously, where have you been? Where have you been? What are you waiting for? I'm gonna be linking her video down below so you can watch that one after. Chanel is kind of a specialty of hers, so I'm really curious to see which Chanel products that she regrets buying because she is like the Chanel expert to me. I feel like together we're gonna save you from making a lot of mistakes when it comes to Chanel makeup. So definitely go check out her channel, tell her that I sent you, and with that, here are all of the Chanel makeup products that I regret buying. Okay, so I feel like this first one is gonna be a little bit controversial, maybe a bit polarizing, but hey, I love to give a different perspective on what might be a bestseller or a very popular or overhyped product. The first Chanel makeup product that I regret buying are the Chanel Rouge Allure lipsticks. I know, these do seem to be pretty popular, but I'm not a fan. For $50, I expect a lot more from a luxury lipstick. At this point, I'm a luxury lipstick junkie. I even have a luxury lipstick ranking video, which you can watch after this. I'll link it down below. Spoiler alert, the Chanel ones are pretty low in the ranking. What I think a lot of people like about these is that they have a very lightweight feel, because when you think of a matte lipstick or even a velvet matte lipstick, you might think of something that is a bit heavy, maybe cakey, maybe drying, dare I say crusty on the lips, and I don't like that either. But in making these very lightweight on the lips, what Chanel has done is created a texture that is kind of very unpleasant and silicone-y to me. It doesn't feel creamy and hydrating. It's almost like the essence of hydration. It's almost like fake manufactured hydration. These don't leave my lips feeling hydrated. I feel like I'm constantly aware of the lipstick on my lips and my lips are never fully satisfied. Is any of this making sense? I don't feel like they're hydrating is what I'm trying to say. And I've tried so many other luxury lipsticks that I think are hydrating and are very lightweight and still give kind of like a velvet matte type of look or maybe like a soft satin type of look. It's really just a shame because there are a lot of really beautiful lipsticks from Chanel in their line. If you are looking for something luxurious and you don't mind spending a little bit more for something that is truly worth it, I would recommend the Hermes matte lipsticks. I think that the packaging is much nicer than the Chanel, but that's just my personal opinion, and I think the formula is superior also. Even better than the Hermes also, I would say, are the Sisley lipsticks. I'm wearing my favorite one on my lips today. This is called Beige El Dorado. By the way, I'll link all these products and the shades and stuff that I mentioned in the description box down below, just in case, you know, you want to reference them later. I love these. I feel like I get that same kind of soft matte type of look and a little bit of blurring to the lips, but these are creamy. They are hydrating. They still feel lightweight on the lips. They don't get crusty. And I think that they have really good longevity as well, especially if you pair them with a liner. They are absolutely beautiful. So instead of the ones from Chanel, I would recommend either Hermes, which has some really, really beautiful colors, by the way, or the Sisley. Another Chanel bestseller that I regret buying is the Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream, the cream bronzer from Chanel. I think I used this maybe a total of 1 time before deciding this was not for me. I've always been so confused why people love this cream bronzer because to me, it is so greasy and emollient. It doesn't feel super effortless and luxurious like I would expect from Chanel. That's what I get from most of their makeup products, by the way. I'm not a Chanel hater. I'm a Chanel lover, okay? I love Chanel, and this bronzer just wasn't doing it for me. By the way, apparently the OG version of this was really, really good. Then Chanel reformulated it. I have no idea why. Maybe they were trying to be more clean or whatever, you know, whatever marketing thing they were chasing after at that point in time. They added coconut oil to it and they completely ruined it, and that's why it's so greasy and weird. The shades as well at the time of me purchasing this bronzer were so orange. I got the lightest shade that they had. Take a look at that, guys. Like, that is straight up orange. This turns me into a greasy Oompa Loompa. One thing I will say, because I know you guys are gonna comment down below, they just reformulated this again, which is kind of annoying, but also kind of a blessing. I do have the new version. I have been testing this out, and I am very pleased to say that they did fix the new version. This is not as greasy. It doesn't have the coconut oil, which I think also breaks a lot of people out, I have heard. It is creamy. It is much more beautiful and effortless to use. I think it's a really beautiful formula. I wish it wasn't so fragranced, but the new version, I'll let you know, is so much better and is worth checking out. I also do really like this shade. This is Soleil Tan Light Bronze. So they came out with better shades for fair skin. So yay, Chanel, good job. One final thing that I will mention, because yes, I have to be that person, is that this is pretty much exactly like my NARS Laguna Bronzing Cream in the lightest shade. I'll show you guys the swatch comparisons here. It's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same once it goes onto your face. Very similar texture, pretty much the exact same color. So I'll just leave you with that. Oh, and by the way, if you happen to be enjoying this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you are new here, if you came from Allie's channel, welcome. My name is Sophia and I upload new videos just like this every single week, all about everyday beauty and accessible luxury style. I film all of my beauty videos in natural light with no filters, and we like to keep it real, honest, and fun here on this channel. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button to join our fam. We seriously would love to have you. Okay, next up we have another lip product from Chanel that I regret buying, the Chanel Rouge Allure L'Extrait. And I apologize for my pronunciation. I speak a couple languages, but French is not one of them, so I am gonna be butchering these words. Have some mercy on me. The Rouge Allure L'Extrait. Why do these even exist? Why do these exist? These are supposed to be a hydrating yet pigmented lipstick that also happens to be refillable. But we already have the Rouge Allure Velvets, we already have the Rouge Cocoa, we already have liquid lipsticks, we have the Rouge Cocoa Flash Bombs. Where do these fit in, okay? Because pretty much all of the lipsticks from Chanel are supposed to be hydrating. Like, why wouldn't you just get the Rouge Cocoa lipsticks? Those are very hydrating. The new formulation of those is so good and happens to be more pigmented than the older version, my understanding is. So why on earth do we even need these lipsticks? That's the first thing that I want to start with, okay? And also, no shame to anybody who likes any of these products. You do you, boo. This is just like my little fun roast. And hopefully I'm providing a different perspective for you in case you're thinking about splurging on these, because these are $58 each. Granted, I know that the refills are less, but still, $58 is a lot to spend up front, and I really don't think that this formula is anything special. I think there's other things in the Chanel line, but also from other brands that are more affordable that you can get. It's like, a hydrating lipstick, and then on top of that, you literally get the teeniest amount. Check the price per gram on these. It is insane. It's insane even for Chanel. They are scamming us with these lipsticks. So not only do I feel like they don't really have a place in the lineup, they don't really impress me formula-wise, and then the value is absolute trash. If you want a hydrating pigmented lipstick, go for the Rouge Cocoa, or some of my favorites are the ones from Clé de Peau. They have a beautiful satiny shine, but they are still very richly pigmented and leave my lips super duper hydrated all day. I also think that they have a lot more lasting power than these from Chanel. Okay, don't hate me, but another bestseller from Chanel that I do not like at all is the Volume de Chanel mascara. I know a lot of people like this. I know that it makes my lashes look beautiful, but the reason that I don't like this mascara at all is because I feel like it is, number one, very drying, and number two, doesn't last on my lashes at all. Every single time that I wear this mascara, it flakes, it smudges, and it transfers. I'll show you an example right here. Even if I'm not wearing it for that long, even if I'm wearing a very matte foundation, this seems to transfer, and I don't have any issues with my other favorite luxury mascaras that I have in my makeup drawer. So why spend my money on the Volume de Chanel? I know most of my favorite mascaras do happen to be those kinds of like tubing mascaras, and sometimes people find that they don't get as much fluttery volume from those, although they do give a lot of length. However, I do have a couple of non-tubing mascaras that do give a similar effect to the Volume de Chanel that literally are bulletproof. They never smudge or flake on me, and they're very easy to remove. The first one is the EADEM mascara. Literally the best. I always wear this when I want tons of volume, if I don't feel like wearing fake lashes, because I honestly don't wear them that much because I'm lazy and I ain't got time for that. And then the second one is the Hourglass Caution mascara. My mom really likes this one. Her eyes are a little bit more hooded than mine because she has more mature skin. She swears by this one. Very long lasting, but they're also not hard to remove like a waterproof mascara would be. Up until this point of the video, I have focused specifically on permanent products in the Chanel collection because these are gonna be the things that people try and sell you on time and time again, and I wanna save you some money. But I thought we would have some fun and take a trip down memory lane to some of the most egregious seasonal collection releases that I have ever encountered, because these are truly some of the worst that I've ever tried. I am calling this part of the video my rapid fire roast. If you own any of these and they are your favorites, again, please do not take any offense. If you hated them as well, then we can commiserate together. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, well, the message here is wait for the review. Watch me or Allison review these products before you spend your money or potentially waste your money. Let's get roasty. The Chanel Tweed eyeshadow palettes. Oh my goodness, these were probably one of the biggest releases of the year. People lost their mind over these, not only because the little eyeshadow pans looked like they were tweed, okay? They had that cool embossing, but also these came with those adorable little tweed pouches, like a little tweed sweater, a little tweed Chanel jacket for your eyeshadow palette. But what you might not remember is that these were the dustiest eyeshadow palettes that I've ever tried from Chanel, or some of the worst. Dusty. Some of the dustiest that I've ever tried. I don't even know why I still have these in my collection. I almost feel like they were so hard to get, they were so hyped up, they were so coveted and such a collector's item that I can't get rid of them, but truly, these were so bad. The Lumière de l'Ocean Luminizer, or might I call it the Chunky Unky Mermaid highlighter from the summer collection. I think it was a year ago. How old are we, Chanel? What is this ColourPop limited to disaster that you released? This was so chunky, so glittery. Like, is this actually Chanel makeup? And I love the idea of this, like something very iridescent, very multi-dimensional, kind of like mermaid vibes. I'm all here for that. Like, I love summery makeup. I like to have fun with my makeup. But the fact that this was so chunky and glittery literally left me thinking somebody should be fired for this. Who literally approved this in the approval process at Chanel? Oh, the Roses Coquillage Blush Duo. This was so bad that it's still available. And when did this come out? Like months ago? A year ago? I think this came out a year ago, guys. It's still available. That's how bad and dusty this blush duo was. This is nobody's favorite. Please tell me if this is your favorite. I need to know, because this was so dusty, I couldn't even swatch it. Like, I would swatch it and there'd be nothing. It's a ghost palette. It's a blush for a ghost, because I literally could pick up no pigment, not with my fingers, not with a brush, nothing. The colors were cute, like the little pattern and the design were cute. The theory of it was cute, but it remained a theory because literally there was no pigment. And I like light, natural makeup. I love Chanel style makeup, but this just took that to a whole other level. Oh, and you know what? While we are on the ghost topic, let's chat about the Terrace de Chanel collection and the ashy lavender blush that everybody convinced themselves was like so unique and so special. It sold out, I think, pretty quickly. Guys, this is so ashy. This is not flattering on anybody, even on my skin tone. Very fair complexion. This looks like straight up ash. Not to mention the eyeshadow palettes. I know I keep using the word dusty, okay, but seriously? Dusty. That's how these were. The formula of this was downright criminal. I cannot believe the prices that Chanel is charging for what these were. And again, I like lightly pigmented makeup, but these were just, they were so patchy, they were so lightly pigmented. All of the colors just kind of blended into one. What am I paying for, Chanel? Okay, this next one is on me, because I should have known. I should have noticed. The signs were there on the Duo Lumiere luminizer from holiday 2023, I want to say. There's literal sequins embossed onto the pan. I should have known this was also going to be a crazy glittery mess. Did anybody like this one? Because also this was so chunky and glittery. I don't know why Chanel is recently obsessed with these very, very glittery highlighters, because they have released in the past some of the smoothest, most delicious, buttery, elegant, gorgeous gossamer luminizers that I have in my collection. And I want to be able to recommend more because a lot of them were limited edition, but then they keep launching things like this. And that's why it really grinds my gears. Please, Chanel, please just be consistent. Be consistent with the smoothness of your luminizers. I am definitely gonna get some comments for saying this next one. Do you remember these lipsticks? These were so overhyped. What are these called? The Chanel Velvet Nuit Blanche Luminous Matte Lipsticks. These are limited edition. Obviously, like, the packaging is different. Some people really like that. These are that velvet formula, which I already told you I don't really like, except they have little light reflecting pigments in them that are supposed to make them look, I don't know, like a little bit pearly compared to the regular ones. And everybody lost their minds about these. And it's funny because a lot of the colors that were in the collection were kind of dark and moody, because the campaign for these lipsticks, the theme of it was you got the Chanel girly, and every hour of the night is a different lipstick, like her night out, for example. So this one is 7 o'clock and this one is 4 o'clock. And in the campaign, she's changing her lipstick every single hour of the night, because we all do that. It was a very bizarre campaign, but anyway, the colors were beautiful, but they were all very dark. And then everybody just ended up buying this one color, a very basic, standard, light color pink. And like I said, there's really nothing special about this formula. I was definitely influenced by social media and the hype of these. I was so excited thinking that these were gonna be something super special, and then I got them. And it was just a huge letdown, and now they are in the declutter pile. Do me a favor, comment down below and let me know, what are the Chanel makeup products that you regret buying? Help us save our money and let us know, what would you buy instead? If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe, or better yet, go watch another video. Up next, we have Allison's video, which is going to be linked down below and coming up next. I'll see you there.